Welcome to the Locked In Baseball Podcast. I'm William Locke. He is Luis Barranco. It is our 2026 Kansas City Royals team preview and prediction episode. Luis, we're in the Central Division again. How you feeling about these KC Royals this year, man?
Hey, I'm happy that we're fourth. We're going to be 4/5 of the way complete with the Central. As you guys know, the Central is not a fun division to talk about, but hey, we're here. We're going to talk barbecue. We don't have to talk about Patrick Mahomes, so that's a good thing. I mean, shout out Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, Kansas City, but let's talk Royals baseball, my guy. Lot to talk about this team. A team that went 82-80 last season. William, one of your sleepers of this year, right? Is this team the Arizona team? If you guys remember us from our way back in the day, back a couple of years back, William called Arizona as being one of his sleepers, and they've went to a World Series shortly after. William, is this that team for you now?
World Series? I don't know about World Series. I don't know if they have the pitching to get to the World Series, but I feel good about this team in the context of the Central Division. I feel better about the Royals than I do pretty much any other team except the Tigers in this division, and they could push the Tigers. I just think the Tigers, they have a better rotation. But like talking through their lineup, I'll just go through it right now. Maikel Garcia, who they extended this year, this offseason, which was huge, getting him locked up. He's only 26, really good young piece. Bobby Witt Jr., who took a step back last season compared to his 2024 campaign where they made the playoffs and eventually lost to the Yankees in the DS, but he's still a top 5 player in all of baseball. He's locked up long-term as well. 3-hole, you got Vinny Pasquantino, who had his best season of his career last year. He's their first baseman. Catcher, they have listed as Salvador Perez. I think it should be Carter Jensen getting the everyday reps at catcher, and then Salvi as the DH. And then they have Jac Caglianone in right field, who was terrible last season in his cup of coffee in the big leagues in his kind of debut. But I think he's going to be a lot better this season. I think he's one of the players to watch in all of baseball. Just under the radar, like breakout candidate type of player. Second base, Jonathan India. DH, I mentioned Carter Jensen. And then in the outfield, they brought in Isaac Collins with a trade with the Brewers this winter. He's going to be playing left. Kyle Isabel is at center. So their outfield is definitely still the weakness, but it's a pretty strong lineup.
I mean, this is a lineup that, you see a lot of really good players. I mean, Maikel Garcia is probably the best unknown player to the casual fan. I feel he's a very underrated player. He took a huge step last year. He was an all-star last year. Pair him with Bobby Witt and Vinny Pasquantino, who started out the gate a little slow, but I feel like he'll be one of the big beneficiaries when they move in those fences out in Kansas City. Again, supposedly he is an ABS demon. In spring training, he's been doing pretty well with the new ABS system that's getting implemented. Like I said, I agree with the whole Salvador Perez take. And they have a good rotation and a good bullpen. I mean, the rotation does come with a little bit of questions with health. As we know, Chris Bubic struggled with injury, and so did Cole Ragans. Those are two guys that should be the workhorses of this team. Seth Lugo, really good pitcher, solid. And you have a guy like Noah Cameron, who's not going to strike you out, but he's going to get outs. And I think that's what you need, guys that are going to get outs and work the innings into it. Also, Michael Wacha, a wildly veteran added. There's a good mix of youth and old on this team in the rotation. And then when you look at the bullpen, they made the acquisitions to sign Alex Lang from the Tigers. They got Matt Strom, who was a great lefty for Philadelphia. And then, Carlos Estevez is still one of the better closers in our game. And Lucas Ursig, who, again, is a great setup man when they got him from Oakland. So all in all, this team's pretty solid. And when you look at the whole makeup of this division, they should be, flirting in the sense of winning it if they're able to take care of business. I mean, again, it's all going to come down to how they perform with the big teams. I mean, there's those very, very, very good teams in the AL, and then there's that tier down of like those teams that we're still waiting to see if they take that step or if they're a part of that class or if they're not. And I kind of feel they're on that point where it's going to depend on how the lineup performs. Again, going to need Jac Caglianone to be better this season, and then Jonathan India is going to have to be better. Again, that's the two big takeaways from this team for me.
Yeah, they're relying on a lot of young talent. Like you said, Caglianone has to break out. I think Carter Jensen who is really good and like he played 20 games in his call up. Like he has to take that step, be rookie of the year caliber good if they want to make the playoffs, make a run to like the CS or something, which this is a team that I could see sneaking into the CS.
They could with the right matchups, they 100% could. Now the thing is can these pitchers replicate what they did? I mean, can Chris Bubeck be the pitcher that he was last year? Can Cole Ragans continue that trajectory? Again, Seth Lugo being solid, and that's what it all depends on. If there's a lot of question marks on this guy's, okay, we had a good year, let's see if they can replicate it. I feel this team could sneak up on a lot of teams in the AL East. Could be a very good team that sneaks up. And again, they play in the Central, very easy division to play in. I mean,
farm system, talked about Carter Jensen. They also have Blake Mitchell, the number 56 overall prospect, according to The Athletic, and a right-handed pitcher, Kendry Churio, who's number 61. Interesting note on him, when he reached low A last July, he became the first pitcher under 18 years old in full season ball since Julio Urias debuted in low A ball in 2013. They have the number 19 overall farm system, according to Keith Law, which isn't very good, but he is picking them to make a big leap in terms of farm system rating. They have banked 2 strong drafts under their new scouting director, Brian Bridges. So they already have a good, young, exciting core with one of the best players in baseball in Bobby Witt. And it seems like they have some reinforcements on the way. You have here listed Bobby Witt Jr. sleeper MVP. I think 2024, if Aaron Judge wasn't as good as he was, Bobby Witt was your MVP. He finished second in MVP voting that year, if I'm not mistaken. And he needs to bounce back to that 2024 form if they want to take that step.
And I completely agree. I feel like this team goes where Bobby Witt goes. I no disrespect to Michael Garcia. I think he's a great player. I think he's one of the better third basemen in our league. But I just think this team's always going to revolve around Bobby Witt. Again, I do feel like his bat, what he adds on the base pass, what he adds in the clubhouse, I feel that's who's going to drive it. Salvador Perez is getting up there in age. We'll see how he performs. He had no signs of slowing down last year, but I mean, Bobby Witt has to be Aaron Judge level or close to that level. I don't say it exactly, but close to it if this team wants to be in contention for a division or in contention to make it far in the playoffs. And I feel he is the guy that we have to pinpoint for that to happen. Again, 100%. Team goes where he goes. And not saying that Michael Garcia is not a great player. I do feel he's great, but I don't feel he's like a superstar like Bobby Witt.
Agreed. He's a good, like a Robin type of player. Good, like he's a player obviously you want to have on your team. He's not going to be the face of your franchise. They brought in a new hitting staff this winter. They hired Connor Dawson from the Brewers and Marcus Thames to work alongside their senior director of hitting performance, Alex Zumwalt. So Dawson brings in that new school approach, analytically minded from the Brewers, and then Marcus Thames is just a veteran presence. He was with the Yankees for a long time. So they were not very good at the plate last year. They kind of changed things up there. Last season, they finished 15th in average, 20th in OPS, 22nd in OBP, 26th in home runs, which I think is an interesting note with them moving in the fences. Maybe that home run mark ticks up a little bit, but that on the flip side is bad news for the pitchers. Their starters finished 7th in ERA last season. So the rotation's been good. It's just a matter of, what do we see with these new fences?
And it's also replicating the health. You forget about the health. We're not talking about a team that's dealing with a clean bill of health when it comes to pitchers. Chris Bubeck and Cole Ragans did deal with some sort of injury. And I mean, Chris Bubeck was a converted reliever into a starter. Let's see how that goes into year 2. Noah Cameron was a rookie and he pitched decent and well in his MLB rookie year. Again, I don't want to classify Markel Garcia as a Robin because I do feel like he's one of the better third basemen. I know we debate where to put him when we came out with our third base rankings. You put him at 4th. I said he's better than Junior Caminero and should be 3rd. And so, again, I don't want to say that he's not, but I think he's a way better player that people don't know about. And I do feel like he is a good player, but again, it falls on the shoulders of Bobby Witt. And when you're getting paid that contract, you're getting paid. You're going to have to make those big boy moves and make the run for the MVP, especially in an AL Central that's weak. I mean, we can talk about the AL Central. We can say that Bobby Witt Jr. is the best position player in the AL Central, which is up for debate. I think he is, and I think a lot of people will debate that because there is Jose Ramirez in that same division, but I do feel Bobby Witt is a better player.
It's him and J-Ram, yeah, and obviously you'd rather have Witt for the next 10 years than J-Ram, just because of the age difference. Go
ahead.
I was just saying, with outfield being a weakness, they also brought in Lane Thomas, and then we are recording this on February 28th. They just brought in Starling Marte as another outfield piece, so it's something to address the outfield weakness, which it definitely is. They're really relying on Caglianone to take that next step. I think that changes the whole just outlook of this team if he can be something for them this season when he was just nothing for them last year. I feel good about the pen. I feel solid about the starting rotation. Again, if it can stay healthy. So the main weakness with this team is the outfield. Outside of that, I feel pretty damn good. And we keep hammering the point, but Bobby Witt Jr. is arguably the best hitter in this division. So they go as he goes.
It's the outfield and second base. And when you look at it, a comparison, like I don't like playing comparisons and boxing teams up. When you compare them to a team, let's call them like a Guardians from like the peak Guardian teams, what's really different from the peak Guardian teams to this team? I mean, you got J-Ram and Bobby Witt, two, top of the league players, Stephen Kwan and Michael Garcia, again, two players that are in their top 5 of their positions. The Guardians had Emmanuel Clase and that really good bullpen. Royals have that really good bullpen. And the Guardians really didn't have, strong pitching when they went to the CS when they played the Yankees. I can't remember right now, but they didn't have Kluber. They didn't have any marquee name. It was,
It was the young guys.
It was the young guys. And, I mean, when you look at the rotations, I mean, Royals rotation compared to that rotation is better. So it's very two similar teams in that regard. Again, it falls on, can Jonathan India in the outfield be decent this year? Again, remains to be seen.
Yeah, there's some pressure on him.
A lot of similarities, like I said, with that Cleveland team from back in the day.
Best lineup in the Central?
Debatable with Detroit.
I think I give them the edge over Detroit just because Bobby Witt. But if Kevin McGonigal gets the call up at some point this season, he could be star caliber player. Right now, the Tigers don't have anybody in the lineup that really scares me outside of Riley Green, but he strikes out so much.
Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson, Javi Baez.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I feel like Detroit's a bad away from actually that's what it is. And
they got the farm, which we'll talk about them in another one.
We'll talk about them, but they went back to Kansas City. They went 82-80 last season, 3rd in the Central. DraftKings over under is 81.5, I believe.
81.5. Yep.
William, how you feeling about them?
I feel pretty confident over. I think they're going to finish second, maybe first in the division. Not going to make my official division picks until the props and predictions episode coming in a couple weeks. But I'm going over. I think they'll win 85 to 87 games. I think they're one of the better teams in the American League. I do. I feel maybe a little bit. I'm buying shares. I'm buying stock in Carter Jensen, Jac Caglianone, all those guys. I think Bobby Witt's going to get back to pushing for the MVP this season, and I'm bullish on this team, so I'm going over.
Yeah, I'll buy shares. I mean, this was a 500 ball club in April and May, going 14-13 and 15-13 respectively. In June, they had a tough June, going 8-18, and they after the All-Star break in July, they went 15-9, August 16-12, and then September was rough. But I kind of feel that this team kind of grew a lot last year, and I do feel like they're going to use that growth from last year's season and carry over to an over this year of the 81.5. They're better than last year.
They're better than last year. They're well managed. Mac Otrero got an extension this winter as well. We didn't mention that, but they did a good job locking up him and Garcia. So there's a lot of reasons to be optimistic about this team. I might go to a World Cup game in Kansas City, maybe. I don't know. Try to check this stadium off my list before or during that trip. Never been to Kansas City. Got to try the barbecue because it's apparently really good. So
gonna go see Taylor Swift.
Gonna see Taylor Swift. Kelsey,
Travis
has
Kelce.
Kelsey made a decision? Is he gonna retire? Is he coming back? Is that official yet?
Well, things will come out this week when the combine's out. Probably by the time this comes out, we'll know what's up.
I feel like my gut's telling me he's coming back for one more season. So my gut says.
Let's run it back. Why not? Run it back.
Run it back. One more season. That's football, though. We're both on the over on the Royals. Who's tomorrow? Who we got? We got the Reds. So we're staying in the Central. Just going to the National League. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. We're both bullish on this Royals team. Catch you tomorrow for the Cincinnati Reds. Peace out.